நீங்களும் என்னோட வந்து இதை சுற்றி பாருங்க. நான் சந்தோஷப்படுற மாதிரி நீங்களும் சந்தோஷப்படுங்க. ஓகே, இப்போ நாங்கள் குருசில் ஏறிட்டோம். எல்லாரும் போய் கொண்டிருக்கிறோம் பாருங்க.
Passengers should also be reminded that smoking is not allowed. Please do not dispose of luggage to the river. If assistance is required, please contact the river members. Thank you for traveling in the Singapore River Cruise. We wish you a pleasant journey.
Thank you for choosing to travel with us on the Singapore River Cruise. On this journey, you get to explore Singapore's witty past, enjoy our vibrant present, and even take a glimpse into our exciting future. This river represents the heart and soul of our young nation. In fact, Singapore's fortunes began at this very river a long time and have continued to flow ever since. Now, if you've got your eyes trained, your ears peeled, and your cameras ready, let's get started. You're now traveling into the very heart of our island city, so sit back and enjoy Singapore's fascinating story.
Wow, பார்க்கும்போது எவ்வளோ அழகாக இருக்கு. எந்த அளவுக்கு நான் கதைக்கிறோம் உங்களுக்கு விளங்கும் பகுதி இல்லை, விலங்காட்டி மன்னிச்சு கொள்ளுவோம். நாங்கள் ஒரு 1/2 ஹவருக்கு இதுலேயே போய் கொண்டிருப்போம். நான் பார்க்குற எல்லாத்தையும் உங்களுக்கும் ஷேர் பண்ணுறேன். நீங்களும் என்னோடைய வந்து பார்த்து மகளுங்க.
It was completed in 1842 as Singapore's very first quay. At its peak in the 1860s, Boat Quay handled 3/4 of Singapore's total shipping business. The sheltered riverbanks made excellent loading and unloading places. Back then, the whole river was chock-a-block with thousands of boats transporting a whole myriad of goods to be traded by the merchants who had set up shop in that row of buildings on the bank. Some of those goods included seafood, spices, and rubber. The precious cargo was shouldered across gangplanks by immigrant laborers known as coolies, whose blood, sweat, and tears formed the very backbone of our nation's rise to prosperity. Wonder why all the shop houses are concentrated on just one embankment of Boat Quay? Well, legend has it that the Chinese immigrants chose to set up home only on the south bank of the river. You'll notice how the riverbank curves just like the belly of a car. In Chinese culture, this majestic fish is an auspicious symbol of good fortune and a great place to store wealth. These first immigrants believed that this part of the Singapore River was where prosperity and wealth could be found. That's also why many banks and businesses started up here and eventually developed this area into our current central business district. Where once boats lined the water's edge, today the banks of Boat Quay are lined with shop houses turned into restaurants and pubs. The facades of the Boat Quay shop houses have been retained, and their unique architectural styles give the district a distinct flavor. Notice how the shop houses are of varying heights? Long ago, this signaled the owner's wealth. In other words, the higher the building, the wealthier the owner. Perhaps these traditional beliefs have extended till today. Just take a look at the tall skyscrapers of Singapore's financial district towering over the Boat Quay shop houses. This is the perfect place for snapping pictures, so enjoy the 360-degree views and drink in Boat Quay's unique blend of traditional Asian values set against a modern and progressive backdrop. See how the shop houses form a charming contrast of Singapore's developing years against the skyline of a new Singapore. This truly is a uniquely Singapore sight. By the way, are you feeling hungry? Hawkers and their pushcarts used to line the riverbanks, selling local dishes that were cheap and delicious.
இது புல்லட்டின் ஹோட்டல் வந்து இருக்கு.
A bowl of Teochew porridge cost only 10 cents. And better yet, side dishes were free of charge. Every day, the people who worked and lived at the river would eat at these push carts, sitting on little stools along the river banks. Perhaps that was how al fresco dining got its start in Singapore. Directly ahead is Kavanagh Bridge. Completed in 1869 and named after Colonel Sir William Arthur Kavanagh, Singapore's last governor, it's Singapore's only suspension bridge to have retained its intricate original form. It was manufactured in Scotland, then shipped to Singapore later to be assembled. Unfortunately, the bridge was built too low and boats had to wait for low tide before they could pass. So look out and don't forget to duck as we cruise under the bridge. Just kidding.
Bridge போகுது under the
On
bridge.
the other side of Kavanagh Bridge, you'll see a group of little boys jumping into the river. Don't worry about jumping in to save them. They're actually incredibly lifelike bronze sculptures showing a scene from the river's past, where children would stand and wave cheekily from their houses. Very often they would take off all their clothes and jump in for a cool afternoon swim. Standing tall and majestic is the exclusive Fullerton Hotel, which blends the elegance of old world charm with every modern convenience. Built in 1928, lots of paper pushing went on behind the hotel's splendid
Anderson
columns
Bridge
before
ஆல
its
கீழால
glamorous
போய் கொண்டிருக்கும்.
makeover.
அது
Its facade is a
1910
masterpiece of
இந்த கட்டி
neoclassical
இருக்கிறாங்க.
grandeur, which belies its much stuffier original occupants, the Chamber of Commerce offices and the General Post Office, from which mail was transported along the Singapore River to and from ships. Since the 1950s, this was also the site of many political campaign rallies, but even longer before that, it was occupied by Fort Fullerton, built to defend the town at the mouth of the Singapore River.
முன் வியூவை பாருங்க எவ்வளோ அழகா இருக்கு.
This
Fantastic
promontory
கட்டியிருக்கும்.
to your right used to be home to the merlion, Singapore's half lion, half fish icon.
Mandarin
The merlion
Oriental.
stood guard here at the river mouth for 30 years before it was hauled by barge to its new home in the bay in 2002. As we make our way out into Marina Bay, you'll be able to see the merlion for yourself and hear all about its story.
சரியான கையான கட்டடங்கள் இருக்கு. இங்க பாருங்க இந்த பில்டிங் எவ்வளோ அழகா இருக்கு. Wow. Super. Under the bridge கீழால போய் கொண்டிருக்கிற bridge. எவ்வளோ பெரிய bridge. வேல்ஸுக்கு போகணுன்னு தெரியல. ஒரு 1/2 hour சுற்றி காட்டுவாங்க. வாவ் இதை பாருங்க எவ்வளோ அழகான.
As promised, up next is the lion's heart, home of the original lion statue. To understand our new national emblem,
எவ்வளோ அழகான இடம்.
resting on a crest of waves, here's a quick history lesson.
பார்த்தீங்களா எவ்வளோ அழகான
Singapore
இடம்.
was originally known as the ancient city of Temasek, which means sea town in Javanese. But according to legend, recorded in
அங்கே ஒரு
the
போல் ஒன்று வச்சிருக்காங்க. பெரிய
South
போல் மாதிரி.
in Singapore, meaning lion city in Sanskrit.
எவ்வளோ அழகு.
Often spotted a lion on its shore. The lion's head represents the lion spotted by the legendary Sang Nila Utama, while a fishtail symbolizes Temasek and Singapore's humble as a fishing village. Measuring 8.6
இங்க
meters
பாருங்க,
high
மேலுக்கு.
and weighing 70 tons, the lion sits on
எப்படி இருக்கு?
plain land looking out to sea.
மூன்று
She
பில்டிங்க்கு
attracts millions
மேலே
of visitors
பாருங்க
a year who make the
ஷிப்
trip to
ஷேப்ல
Malayan
வச்சிருக்காங்க.
Park to photograph this world-famous icon at her new home right here in
எவ்வளோ அழகா
scenic
இருக்குல்ல?
Marina Bay. Take a peek behind the Malayan and you'll see a baby Malayan. Believe it or not, its scales are made from pieces of porcelain repurposed bowls and plates. Next to the Malayan and her cub is a luxurious lifestyle dining and waterfront hotel hub known as the Fullerton Heritage that blends exciting futuristic projects with the older colonial landscape of Singapore.
எனக்கு இதில் பேர் தெரியல பாருங்க.
You want a photo?
Yeah. பேபி முடி சாரி ஒரு ஃபோட்டோ எடுக்கிறதுக்காக போயிட்டு ஓகே நாம் திரும்ப பார்க்கலாம் தொடர்ச்சியா கொஞ்சம் முன்னாள் இருங்க இங்க பாருங்க எவ்வளவு அழகான பில்டிங்
Okay. I just find
DBS ரெண்டு போட்டுருக்கு இந்த பில்டிங்க்கு ஸ்டாண்டர்ட் சார்ட்டர்ட் ரெண்டு இருக்கு DBS
something like get it and put it in the water. No, you try to get it and put it in the water.
இதுல முன்னாலே பாருங்க இது வந்து ஃபுல்லட்டன்
To your right is
Bay
Clifford
Hotel.
Pier, which was built in 1933
Fullerton
as a
Bay
landing
Hotel.
point for immigrants hoping for a new future in a new land. It was also once known as Red Lamp Pier because legend has it that a red oil lamp used to hang from the pier as a comforting guide to weary seafarers. Mindful of its rich historical past as a bustling trading post and gathering place for food lovers and entertainers, Clifford Pier has been carefully conserved and now serves as the lobby of the Fullerton Bay Hotel. And beside it is Customs House, a charming
Customs
conservation
House
building
and
from the late 1960s, which began as the Customs Harbour Branch building, one of Singapore's earliest modern-style public buildings. As Singapore's shipping and trade boomed, it became the home of the Singapore Customs Police, tasked with watching over one of the world's busiest harbours. Further up, you'll see the magnificent Marina Bay Financial Centre, which sits on prime waterfront real estate at the heart of Singapore's new downtown and is an expansion of the central business district. Arguably the crown jewel of Marina Bay, this purpose-built financial centre combines the best in form and function, blending office towers, luxury apartments, and retail space, making it one of the hottest places to live, play, and work, as befitting Singapore's position as a global financial, residential, and entertainment hub. It's also on a 3.5-kilometer Marina Bay
Fullerton Bay
waterfront
Hotel.
promenade, which has become a popular
Agala
scenic footpath, especially since this walkway boasts several unique design features.
Netic.
You can look forward to an uninterrupted experiential walk or
Coco
jog
Land.
around the bay. Do make time to explore the promenade,
Coco
which lists
Land.
the landmarks of this beautiful bay area,
River.
including Marina Reservoir, Marina Barrage,
Bank of
and
China
Gardens
வந்து
by the Bay.
top
Also
இருக்கு பாருங்க
located along this fascinating
Bank of
waterfront
China.
is the Marina Bay City Gallery, which showcases the story of Singapore's urban transformation and the development of Marina Bay. Don't miss its touch-activated exhibits and innovative city model, offering a bird's-eye view of key landmarks in Marina
Bank
Bay,
of
which will help you navigate the Bay Area.
சிங்கப்பூர் JP மோகன் அண்டி இருக்கு அதில் பேங்க் ஆஃப் அமெரிக்கா பக்கத்தில் இருக்கு அந்த பிளாக் கலர் பில்டிங்
As we cruise round Marina
Okay.
Bay
And then
and begin
Fullerton
making our way
Hotel
back
பாருங்க.
down the Singapore River, have a look to
Fullerton
your right
Hotel.
at a Singapore landmark that really needs no introduction. It's the iconic Marina Bay Sands Integrated Resort, featuring a
We
casino,
work and
hotels
இருக்குதுல.
and convention center, world-class entertainment and retail shops, all housed within award-winning architecture that resembles a ship atop 3 towers. Notice also the palm-shaped Arts and Sciences Museum and the unique Helix Bridge. This 280-meter engineering marvel has been modeled after the structure of DNA and was inspired by the Asian concept of
VOC.
yin and yang, built to bring wealth, happiness, and
VOC
prosperity
building.
to Marina Bay. This bridge will also
Where
take you
is
to another
Capital
awe-inspiring
Land?
attraction,
We
the
were-
Gardens by the Bay.
மற்றது
Spanning 101 hectares,
Maybank.
this award-winning super park is home to over 250,000 rare plants from all over the world. Enjoy the lush outdoor gardens, climate-controlled dome conservatories, and
சிங்கத்திர வாயிலிருந்து
futuristic
தண்ணி
super
பாயும்.
trees, which you can see,
எவ்வளோ அழகா இருக்குது.
they're essentially vertical gardens measuring up to 16 stories high and linked by
பாத்தீங்களா?
suspended walkways with stunning views of the entire
Beautiful.
park. Living up to their name, the super trees also collect rainwater, generate solar power, and are venting ducts for the park's conservatories, which encapsulate the cloud forest and flower dome. Do you notice that the water here is very calm? This is due to the Marina Barrage, which is a dam built across a 350-meter wide marina channel. It keeps out the seawater to create Singapore's first reservoir in the city, a vital source of fresh water and flood control. The Marina Reservoir is Singapore's 15th reservoir. It has the largest and most urbanized catchment area at 10,000 hectares, or 1/6 the size of Singapore. Just imagine, we're now literally floating in drinking water. Perhaps the very same stuff flowing out of your tap. Cruising out into the bay, you couldn't have missed the giant wheel in the sky. That is Singapore Flyer, a sky-scraping observation wheel that measures 165 meters tall,
Captain
that's 22
Explorer
stories high, and 150 meters in diameter.
Yeah, the head looks like
7 Singaporean men flying head to toe. The wheel carries 28 city bus
அந்த
size
பிரிட்ஜை பார்த்தீங்களா எவ்வளோ பெரிய அகலமான ஒரு பிரிட்ஜ் உண்டு.
which means that at any one time, the Singapore Flyer can transport 784 passengers per revolution, which takes about 32 minutes to complete, rotating at a smooth speed of 24 centimeters per second. This engineering wonder provides breathtaking panoramic views of Singapore and the islands beyond. In fact, from on board, you can see up to 45 kilometers away. That's 3 kilometers more than the entire length of our island city. You'll also notice to your right two curious spiky domes unique only to the Esplanade, theatres on the bay. Because of its resemblance to the king of fruits, it's been affectionately nicknamed the durian. No worries here. Quite unlike its pungent namesake, the Esplanade Theatres on the Bay attracts hordes of hungry culture vultures.
பாத்தீங்களா எவ்வளோ அழகா
Taste
இருக்குது
of many
இந்த
blockbuster
பில்டிங் எல்லாம்.
productions. As the region's premier performing arts and entertainment center, it boasts superb facilities, showcases world-famous musicals, and features popular homegrown events like the Mosaic Music Festival. And to really top it all off, the Esplanade's breezy rooftop garden offers up more unrivaled views of the city and bay area.
இந்த வியூவை பாருங்க எவ்வளோ அழகா இருக்கு.
Hey, where's Rich then? He fell. Here.
The green area to your right was once lined with lovely European-style houses that brought to mind the fashionable elegance of London's Mayfair. No wonder the Esplanade was a popular place for European settlers to see and to be seen. Back in the old colonial days, they would emerge from their houses to stroll along the Esplanade every afternoon. Here they would enjoy the sea breeze, exchange gossip, and perhaps even indulge in a little innocent flirtation. As a nod to our colonial history, Queen Elizabeth Walk was opened within the Esplanade Park in 1953 to honor the coronation of Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II. If you have the time, this path will take you on a pleasant meandering walk through the park to other interesting national monuments.
ஓகே வந்த வழியே திரும்ப கூட்டிட்டு போறாங்க.
The bridge straight ahead of us is Anderson Bridge, named after Sir John Anderson, yet another governor of the Straits Settlements. This elegant arch displays an excellent combination of intricate plaster and metalwork.
The Anderson
While
Bridge.
the structure provides high resistance
Anderson
to
Bridge
bending
கீழால
force,
போயிடும்.
which comes in really handy since it supports the heavy weight of vehicles sitting back and forth daily.
ஃபுல்லட்டன் ஹோட்டல்ல கிட்ட இருக்கிற வியூ தான் இது. கிட்ட பார்க்கக்கூடிய ஃபுல்லட்டன் ஹோட்டல்.
As a gorgeous contrast to the skyscrapers that now mark the Singapore skyline, to Right, and you see sitting grandly before us three beautifully preserved buildings that commemorate Queen Victoria, the Empress of India. The Victoria Theatre and Victoria Memorial Hall, which features the clock
In the
tower,
bridge
are both
name,
historical monuments dedicated to the performance arts.
Prema Bridge.
Right next to them is the Empress Place Building, which was constructed in 1907 entirely by convict labor. Previously known as the Government Offices, the Empress Place Building is now also a national monument
the Bank
home
of
to the
China
Asian Civilizations Museum. The Asian Civilizations Museum is a treasure trove of history and culture that will introduce you to the world of Asian traditions. The museum features over 1,600 treasured artifacts in 4 themed geographical zones and includes a Singapore River gallery dedicated to the history and people of our beloved river. Be sure to check it out for an even more intimate picture of the things you've seen and learned on this river cruise.
இந்த பில்டிங் வந்து சிங்டெல் இருக்கு. சிங்டெல்.
Can I sleep?
Okay.
Up ahead and to the right, over on the museum steps, an enchanting series of sculptures tells the story of the Singapore River's development. Meet our nation's pioneers, farmers, merchants, traders, and financiers, all immortalized in beautifully cast bronze. There are many other surprising sculptures that dot the Singapore River promenade, and if you decide to take an exploratory walk, we promise you won't be disappointed. Over on the right bank, you may have noticed a fine fellow cast in blinding white plaster, Englishman Sir Thomas Stamford Raffles, the founder of modern Singapore. The statue marks the spot where Sir Raffles is thought to have first landed in Singapore in 1819. Back then, Singapore was only a sleepy little fishing village, but Raffles saw enormous potential due to action along the main shipping route between India and China. After signing an agreement with Singapore's then ruler, Sultan Hussein of Johor, Raffles set about establishing a trading post and free port on the island for England's East India Company. He developed a town plan, drawing up residential, administrative and commercial districts along the riverbanks of this budding island city. The large building we're passing on the right is Singapore's first
நான் இதை முடிச்சுக்கொண்டு நான் திரும்பவும் உங்களுக்கு லைவுக்கு வருவேன்.
until 1999.